Morning campers. I thought I'd film a week of different breakfasts that I'm eating because I tend to eat something different every day because I'm very bored and I need stimulation in some form, and that form comes from food. I just tend to get bored of the same breakfast every day, so I do like to switch it up. So why not take you along with me and show you what I make. I will of course have the full recipes in minutiae detail up on my Instagram if this video doesn't cover everything. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy and get some brekkie inspiration because it is of course the best meal of the day. I love a sweet potato for breakfast. I feel like we already know this because I have it so bloody much. And recently for me it's been all about the stuffed sweet potato. Just cut off the ugly ends and then I just slice it down the middle like that. And you can roast these ahead of time, but I'm just going to put it in the microwave for about 7 minutes. It depends on the size of your potato, but this one's quite large. So when that's done, I like to prise it open and then stuff it with a yogurt of some sort. This is the one I go for. It's a soy yogurt, so it's the highest protein option for plant yogurt. I do like to be mindful about getting enough protein in the morning. So if I was to use something like a coconut yogurt or a almond-based yogurt, I would probably add a little bit of protein powder into it, just to make sure the meal's completely balanced. But this one is just fine by itself, although I may add protein powder anyway because I quite like the taste of it. I'm one of those people, I think. It depends what protein powder. Crucially, you have to get the clumps out because clumpy protein powder is hellish. Perfect, so soft and squishy. Look at that. Today's berry of choice, bloobs. And honestly, you can pimp this out in any way you like. I have to add some nut butter or else. A little bit of cinnamon. Sprinkle this to make it look pretty. And that is it, my guys, a stuffed sweet potato. This has probably been my most frequent breakfast recently. There's just something about it. It's the perfect like transition into the warmer weather. It's cozy and warm, but it's also nice and refreshing at the same time. It's the perfect balance. Ooh, honestly, divine. I'll do a taste test, but you have to trust me that it's good anyway. I mean, you know the reaction I'm gonna have. I'm gonna say,
so good.
No, it's good. It really is good. Now, if you don't mind, I have an episode of Frenemies to watch. I'll see you tomorrow. As soon as I opened my eyes this morning, I knew exactly what I wanted for breakfast. So I make this banana bread every single week, I swear to God. And it's just such an easy go-to snack, brekkie. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I've done this before and it was an absolute whale of a time. So I'm gonna make some banana bread French toast. I've just defrosted these 2 pieces and now I'm gonna make the batter. I'm gonna make it vegan, so I'm gonna use oat milk. I actually like really prefer almond milk just in general, but oat milk's got that nice sweet aftertaste which works really well with French toast. In any other case, I'd probably use almond. A good spoonful of flaxseed and just a little drop of maple. Importantly, you need to let this batter sit out a little bit just so the flax can get nice and thick and gloopy and it can look like more of an egg batter, because otherwise nothing's going to stick to that. So I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes if I'm patient enough. So I'll see you then. And now the fun part. Dippy dip. You want it to be completely soaked. And then just fry away. Honestly, it already smells so tasty. It did crumble a little bit there because I left it in the batter for too long, but let's just ignore that. You just instinctively know when it's time to flip because like your spidey senses start going off and it starts to smell a little bit burnt, so that's when you know it's time to flip. Tiny little touch of maple syrup because it's already quite sweet. We don't need a lot, but man, does it make a difference. Talk to me about this, babe. Banana bread, French toast. All for me. Good morning. I am actually glad I chose this week to film my breakfast because I've been wanting to show you this wrap for ages now. It's a great way to get extra veggies in the morning because the wrap's actually made out of cauliflower, but before you turn off, it's actually delicious and really satisfying. I use like half a big head of cauliflower, but it's just up to you how much you really want to use. I like cauliflower and I can't really get enough, so. And you just want to steam it so it's nice and soft.
Ideally, you don't want to boil it just because you don't really retain that many nutrients when you boil things in water. So steaming's the way to go. We just want to add everything to a blender. I'm going to season it with cumin, but that's completely optional. Lots and lots of salt, garlic, and you just need 2 eggs, or you could even do, I don't know, maybe 4 egg whites, but I just use whole eggs. Now this should make 2 wraps. A little bit of oil. For my fillings, I'm just going to have mushrooms and cream cheese, because they are truly my passion in life. Having a flexible silicone spatula is invaluable in this situation, so I highly recommend. I know it looks like a lot, but they shrink down, okay? I'm adding a little bit of white miso paste just for some umami flavour. So good. And the chive just makes it so much better. And there you go. Some homemade wraps with cream cheese and mushrooms. This is for you savoury-minded folk out there. Honestly, so satisfying. Cheers to that. Damn, try this one. And you can spice the wraps however you like, you don't have to use cumin. Go crazy and enjoy. I'm not sure what day it is. I think it might be day 4. I'll tell you one thing I am sure of is that I'm craving something salty. So I think I'm gonna make like savoury waffles with a bit of tofu scramble. That sounds good. I'm gonna use buckwheat for this. One of my faves. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup. And then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of coconut flour just because it improves the texture a little bit, it gives it a little bit more bite. Trust. All in the spices, my guys. So I'm going to take about a 1/4 teaspoon of each of these. This is turmeric, by the way. Maybe about 1/2 teaspoon mixed herbs. Tiny pinch of turmeric. You could also add some nutritional yeast to this, that would be quite nice, but I don't have any, and to be honest, I don't actually like it that much. So, I'm going to add some salt. A bit of baking powder as well. And as for the wet ingredients, it's going to be tomato paste, yogurt, again, it's a texture thing, and milk. Easy. Tablespoon. Honestly, I'm just measuring for the video because normally I just eyeball it. Brush the waffle pan. I know I'm going to get questions, but I don't think you can get this anymore. You can order it online in the States, but I haven't been able to find it in the UK. I got it on special buy at Aldi. I added about 3/4 cup of milk, and I tasted the batter. It's sexy, I can confirm. The longer it sits out, the thicker it gets because the coconut flour starts to absorb every little bit of moisture it can get. So I'm going to fry it now. In the meantime, I'm just going to make a quick scramble. I just add mustard, spices and milk so it's nice and creamy. I made 4 waffles, but I've just eaten one while waiting for the others to cook. You know how it is. I mean, this is the perfect tofu scramble. I actually use firm tofu today, whereas I usually prefer silken, but this is decent. Hello, avocado. Oh my god, this one is so ripe. It was like butter to cut through. Baby. Oh, baby. So there is my savoury delight of a breakfast for today. Some buckwheat waffles, tofu scramble and avocado. Come on now. Taste test, obviously. Cheers. See you tomorrow. I've got to say, filming first thing in the morning, pre-caffeine, 5 days in a row, I don't know how I've done it. Anyway, I'm gonna have a quick, easy mug cake. So first things first, get your mug. I'm gonna use almond flour today because it just makes a really nice, light, fluffy texture. I also just like almonds. Probably about 4 tablespoons. Just a little pinch of BP, baking powder. Why did I call it BP? So to bind it and add a bit of moisture, I'm just going to use tahini. So that's like, instead of an egg, it works divine. It's also just a great excuse to get more tahini in your diet. Final 2 ingredients is going to be applesauce and maple. They both add a nice bit of sweetness, but also just make the texture 10 out of 10. This is going to be vegan, by the way. Did I mention that? 2 of these. You know how much I love applesauce. I go on about it all the time. And now here's the exciting part, because I'm not just about to have a plain mug cake, okay? I'm gonna make it a like marbled chocolate mug cake. Ooh, dribble in my mouth. So I'm gonna separate half the batter and mix in some cacao and a bit of plant milk, and that should work. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna add a bit of plain flour as well because the almond's a bit too light. My thinking is to just layer it, like one layer of vanilla, one layer of chocolate. Okay, I should stop. Quick while I'm ahead.
1 minute in the microwave.
Ooh, that's risen so well. I'm actually really impressed because that was the first time trying. Oh my god, that is perfect.
It actually probably ended up being around 2 minutes in the microwave, but you just keep checking on it. You know how to make mug cake. Anyway, I'm probably gonna end up putting this in a yogurt bowl because I always do that. But I hope you enjoyed the video and got some inspiration. Remember to like and subscribe. I love you. See you later. Wow, that's so good. I didn't know if this was gonna work or not, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Bye.